Hi, and welcome back. Today, we are going to go over the lessons for Level F, 9 through 12. You will need the workbook with worksheets 1, 2, and 3 for the week, the math card games book, your activities for learning abacus, and you can either use a dry erase board and marker or the back of the worksheet for writing out sample equations. Our objectives for Lesson 9, which is about short division, are to review the terms dividend, divisor, and quotient, and to learn to do short division with remainders. The warm-ups today are a short review of simple division with a logical extension. Short division may be a new concept to you, but it is so efficient that I think that you'll really enjoy learning about it. Notice how for the problem 6,846 divided by 2, you will start off asking, what is 6,000 divided by 2? We typically shorten this and say, what is 6 divided by 2? But in the beginning, I would really encourage you to emphasize the place value of that number. It really isn't just a 6, it is 6,000. Likewise, 800, what is 800 divided by 2? You shouldn't say what is 8 divided by 2. It's what is 800 divided by 2, and so on. All right, so once you have done the second example, which is 472 divided by 3, go ahead and erase that or cover up what you've done and have your student try the same problem. Once that has been successful, go ahead and have your student complete the first 3 rows of worksheet 1. The rest of the worksheet can be saved and used as additional warm-ups for lessons 10 and 11 if you find that it's necessary. Today's game is Division War, which is D12 in the math card games book, but it has a variation from the description in the book. In this game, we want the winner to be the one who has the highest remainder, not the highest quotient. So with each hand, whoever has the highest remainder wins that hand. The in conclusion section is a review of vocabulary and could be done before the game if you like. I needed this review just as much as my kids did. So for lesson 10, the objectives are to find remainders after dividing by 9 and to review that the remainders can be combined. The warm-up goes over what remainder do you get when dividing an even number by 2, and what remainder do you get when dividing an odd number by 2. This relationship between the evens and the odds is very useful, but it is not commonly explored in most curriculums. So I think it's really neat that it's included in this one. We're going to start right off after the warm-ups with a worksheet. Remember that your job is to ask questions, not answer them. That's your student's job. And the other piece of helpful information is that a problem is not a problem if the solution is obvious. So if the answer is obvious, it's not a problem. So if your student is having a healthy, productive kind of struggle with this or any other problem in math, that's good, because giving them time to think and solve the problem is really important. Now, if your student is having trouble with these problems, make sure that the abacus is available, and you could work on the first problem together, and then you'll let your child do the rest. Now, if the struggle results in tears, a lot of frustration, anger, then I would slow down, back up a step, maybe play a few games, and tackle this again tomorrow. What I have found is that, for example, with my oldest son, it was amazing. It was as if he really hadn't done math. One day it would just hit him so hard that he didn't understand what was going on. And at first I was frustrated with that because I knew he should know how to do this based on his previous lessons. You know, he was doing well, and then all of a sudden, boom, he hit kind of like a brick wall. And what I found was, if I would just stop and play a few games to review, and then pick the lesson up the next day, or let's say it was usually a Friday that this happened, We would wait over the weekend and pick it up again on Monday. All of a sudden, miraculously, he understood. And it was like his brain had to gel over the weekend or overnight in order to comprehend what we were learning. So don't be afraid to go ahead and pause and give yourself a break and give your child a break. Play some games and pick it up again tomorrow. So today's game is Remainders. It's game D8 in our Math Card Games book, but Debbie has done a great job explaining how to play this game in a blog on our website. So go ahead to the search engine and just type in D8 and you'll find Debbie's blog. And just have a blast playing. It's really a fun game. Although this game can be played with any divisor from 2 through 10, we would recommend 9. It seems appropriate considering that the lesson was about dividing by 9. Alrighty, so now we're going to move on to lesson 11. The objectives have to do with finding check numbers. If check numbers are new to you, they may make your head spin a little. The idea of check numbers is to have an easy way to check your answers for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. The explanation at the bottom right of the first page is really neat. It's a very logical explanation as to why check numbers work. So I would definitely check that out. For this lesson, I would encourage you to read it over a few times and do the exercises yourself on your own before trying to teach your student. If you'd like to see the big picture, where all of this is going and how check numbers are used for all 4 operations, I would suggest watching our video on check numbers. I'll leave a link in the description. As you learned in the last lesson, any group of numbers can be divided up and, or added up and divided by 9, giving you a quotient and a remainder. In fact, this works for any number, but in this case, we were working on 9. Or those individual numbers can be divided by 9 and their quotients and remainders can be added. Either way, you end up with the same answer. So let's go ahead and review what that looks like. Alrighty, so for example, we have 23 plus 19 plus 38 equals 80. And if we say 80 divided by 9, we get 8, remainder 8. Okay? So we could do it this way, or we could say, what's 23 divided by 9? What's 19 divided by 9? What is 38 divided by 9? So here we have 23 divided by 9 is 2, remainder 5. While 19 divided by 9 is 2, remainder 1. And 38 divided by 9 is 4, remainder 2. So if you look at your quotients and add them all up, 2 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. Now you look at your remainders, 5 plus 1 plus 2 also equals 8. So you see how, when we did it this way, we got 8 remainder 8, which is the same answer that we got over here, 8 remainder 8. So either way, it works. The rest of this lesson will show you how to find the remainders without dividing. The result is check numbers. These can be used to check all of your answers. Especially with calculators being so readily available, you may not end up using check numbers in your daily life, but it sure is great to know that you have another tool available to you. And it is especially good for your child because it really helps the brain stretch and grow and understand how math works. The in conclusion section is a quick review of today's lesson. All right, lesson 12. The objective is to apply check numbers to all 4 operations of math. After the warm-ups, we will review check numbers. Remember that check numbers have to be less than 9, they are single digits, and that the check number 49 is 0. On worksheet 3, have your student do the first addition problem, and then follow up with the questions that are asked, and then have her do the 2 remaining addition problems. Next, you will use check numbers to check the subtraction problem. Remember that you need to add up starting from the check number for the answer. So let me show you what that looks like. So here's our subtraction example. I have 52 minus 13 equals 39. And we want to make sure that 39 is correct. So we're going to check with the check numbers. 5 plus 2 is 7. 1 plus 3 is 4. 9 we know is 0. So we just write down 3. And then we have to add up. Just like you would, if you didn't know about check numbers, you would say 9 plus 3 is 12, carry the 1. 4 plus 1 is 5, right? We're going to do the same thing with check numbers. 3 plus 4 does equal 7. So my answer checks. All righty. We're going to move on to multiplication. For multiplication, you'll simply multiply the check numbers to get the product check number. So here we have 43 times 12. And 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, 10 times 3 is 30, 10 times 40 is 400. We go ahead and add 6, 11, carry the 1, 5. So our answer is 516. But we've got to check it and make sure that we're right. So 4 plus 3 is 7. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then we have 11, 12. So we have 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 6 is 12. And the check number for 12 is 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay? So 7 times 3 equals 21. And 21's check number is 3. So we do check. So remember, we go 7 times 3 equals, we know the answer is 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. So our answer checks. Now let's look at how that works with division. We'll just do a simple division problem. We have 169 divided by 8. So I'm going to say 8 goes into 16 how many times? It's in twice. 8 goes into 9 once with a remainder of 1. Now, how are we going to check this? The check number for 8 is 8. The check number for 21 is 3. And the check number for 1 is 1. So we say 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So our check number should be 7, because 2 plus 5 is 7. Let's see if we got that right. 9 is 0, so we can ignore that one. And 1 plus 6 is 7. So sure enough, we got the right answer. Remember, 8 times 3, that's 24, plus 1 would be 25. 2 plus 5 is 7. There is our check number. Not only did it multiply and add up correctly this way, but it is also the check number for 169. Okay. Okay, so if you have time, go ahead and play the check numbers game again from last lesson. And the in conclusion section today is really important. Make sure that your student understands the answers to these questions. And that's it. Thanks for joining me again, and I hope that you have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.